Speaker. First thing I want to say, I'm so happy they turned the heat up. They've also turned the lights up. So I can actually see what I'm going to talk about. Here I'm going to introduce you, Tom, who's probably one of the best known citizens in our county, because they just said in 2010 you're the most outstanding citizen in our county. But I think you're probably better known as the Chief Judge of the 20th Circuit Circuit Court, where you've been, I think, since 1982 as a judge. Prior to that, you were the Commonwealth's attorney, I understand. And you actually have kind of a long history of being a judge because you were in the Marine Corps as a judge also. And you were in Vietnam, so you're a fellow Vietnam veteran. He received his bachelor's in history from Muhlenberg College and his Juris Doctorate from the Marshall Wyeth School of Law, College of William & Mary. He's a recipient of numerous awards, but I understand that the Harry L. Carrico Outstanding Career Service Award is very highly esteemed, and you presented that in 2008. Most importantly, which I think is a great accomplishment, Tom is instrumental in establishing the Loudoun County Drug Court program in 2004, and he's the presiding judge of that particular court. And if anybody ever has a chance, that is one place that it makes a huge difference on many of the abusers' lives, but just to go see what's done there is just incredible. Tom is past president, that's what I esteem to be very shortly, of our club in 1997, and under his tutelage, they started the Rotary Club Resolution Race. So we have him to thank for him and Chuck also. You worked on many, many committees. You've been the Rotarian of the Year in 1986, and then you're the Rotary Citizen of the Year in 1998. And then you're very noted for your summer law camp, which I think is another wonderful program. So Tom is an avid traveler. He and his two fellow travelers here have ascended Mount Kilimanjaro, which I understand is the highest mountain peak in Africa, 19,340 feet. In Swahili, they say Kilima, meaning mountain. I've got it right. So I would like to present to you Kilima Tom Horn. So I would ask that we all stand and give him a legendary Rotary welcome.
Let me just say, the talk that you're going to hear tonight is one that I'm taking some risks with, because I don't want to talk down to you and I don't want to talk to you. I want you to relive this adventure that the three of us had the opportunity to live together. To do that, I've set some ground rules for myself. The first is I'm going to introduce you to my fellow travelers, because without them and without the fourth member of our team, we never would have been able to make it to the top. You don't realize how important friends are until your very life is at stake from time to time. And that occurs on a trip like this. And you really don't know whether you're ever going to make it back, except for the dear Lord looking after you and your friends. So over here is Bob. Now Bob had a roommate, and if you can imagine, when you see the video a little bit later on, you're going to see another individual, Vernon. Vernon Coles is a producer with Oprah Winfrey. He's 38 years old. He's a lot younger than we are. And yet he went along with us, and we developed a real bond. A wonderful guy, and you will see him in these videos with us. Because I'm not going to have any comments when you actually see the video. You're going to listen to some music, you're going to see people, and you're going to be able to dream yourselves. And that's the environment that I want you to be in, not me talking to you. I want you to dream like you were on this trip with the four of us. So now, if you can imagine, Bob and Vernon are in this tent that they're sharing. How in the world you could ever share a tent under those conditions is amazing to me. But what you will not hear about is the fact that Bill Alkire is on one side of the tent, in his own tent, and I'm in my tent. And the main complaint about the people in this tent is that these two tents snore. And we kept this tent awake. But it has also been told that perhaps part of this tent was snoring at the same time. But we're not exactly sure. But things are so quiet on the mountain, snoring becomes a real problem. Now, just to give you some ground rules, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you something very personal. My daughter, bless her heart, gave me this journal. And in this journal, she said, you make sure that you keep this journal, which I did. I kept my promise. And this is a very personal journal about our adventure. It has actually little pictures that I drew in it and all kinds of things. Unfortunately, I can't really read this journal. What I did is I had to type up the journal, because part of this journal was written in the middle of the night with a little headlight on in a sleeping bag. So it's a little hard to read, but I have been able to interpret. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you excerpts from that journal about every day that we were together on this mountain. And then I'm going to read you some excerpts from the journal about what we did after we did this climb, when we went on a safari for the first time. They're personal impressions about things, and they may not be the most important things in the world about a climb like this. And they may not be something that somebody would go out if they were doing a tour and we're going to try to sell you on climbing this mountain, would tell you about. But they're very personal things that were important to me, or at least something that I noted during our climb. The next thing that I want you to understand about our trip, and this map's not too small for what I'm going to tell you, the way that you climb this mountain, you can climb this mountain. This is the top. This is a Ruhu Peak right up here. And the Holdens know this all too well. They took a little bit different route than we did. But we're taking the Machami route, which is a route which comes up here, and then it comes around, and then it comes like this, and then it comes down here, and then you go around the mountain like this, and then you come up here, and then you finally assault the mountain up this way. So basically what we were doing, we came up, and then when you listen to the diary, we're going around, and all these little yellow markers are the campsites where we went. But what we were doing was we were going up, and then we'd come down a little bit, then we'd go up, and we'd come down to get ourselves used to the altitude. Because when you get up to 19,000 feet, you really don't know whether you're going to pass out, what's going to happen to you. It's an unknown commodity. So we're following this mountain, and when I talk in the journal about that, we're coming up, we're going through a rainforest, and then we come along. Now there's one place that we really didn't know a whole lot about, and that's right in here, and that's a thing called the Barranco Wall, which is a 1,000-foot rock face. And we thought we were just going to be climbing, walking up a mountain. But unfortunately, it became a lot of rock climbing. And we learned to climb rocks, and climbing up this rock face, a lot of that is involved in just using little things that you put your hands in and walk across the rock face. A little show and tell. When I talk about the porters, this is what a tent looks like, wrapped up. So this is what you sleep in. And when you see the pictures that are in the DVD that you're going to see, you'll see the tent set up. Somebody has to carry this tent. It is not the three of us or the four of us. Therefore, you will see porters, and there are a lot of porters. Actually, there are 20 porters and guides that are involved to get 4 of us up to the top. This is what you put all your worldly belongings in. You stuff it as much as you can, and then you tie it up, and then a porter will put this on his head, strap this on his back, and beat you to the campsite so that the tent is set up. This is in your tent, and you're ready to go to bed by the time you get there. So that tells you something about the nature of being a porter. So what I'm going to do now is just read to you from this journal. And hopefully, as you listen to this, what you're going to have to do is superimpose what I'm telling you in what you think you're going to be able to see. One other condition preceding to the video. There is music, there's background. And to all of you, Jumba. Jumba means hello in Swahili. And the music that you're going to hear in the background is Jumbawana, which is sort of the national anthem of Swahili. So that music will play, and when the music stops the first time, that's the end of the climbing part. And when it starts up again, that's the safari part. So if you are going to dream about, if you want to dream more about climbing, then you can do that. Thursday, March 10th. We arrive in Africa after a long plane ride. It is a 50-minute ride through the African night to the town of Moshi at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro. The cottages we are staying in are a cluster of units around an attractive courtyard. Friday, March 11th. I am awakened by what sounds like a call to prayers that sets off a rooster. Bill and I go to walk the streets, and you will see